Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Hey everyone, welcome back to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Mac,
I'm Pepper.
And I'm Zach.
and today we are continuing on with our journey to number 1, starting at 50. Today we are covering 20 through...
11.
So we're getting into the real meat of things now.
We're getting
I
into
am
those state
excited.
games.
Fights will break out, friendships will be ruined, marriages will be divided.
Wow. I didn't say it.
Just kidding.
I hope not.
Go check out our other videos to see our other rankings divided into 10. And also...
Into 10. Into 5 different videos?
Yeah.
Oh, 10 apiece, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, we didn't do 10
The
videos.
division starts now.
But yes, check out our video for a giveaway as well, linked below.
For
You can
your
win
number 30
for
game.
my number 30 game, Everdell. I don't know if it'll be on any of these
It has not
lists.
showed up on either of our lists.
No
so
You
far.
spoilers.
made it sound like it probably wasn't going to be on yours, but so
But I'm a mystery.
yes, he is a mystery. It might have replaced Dinosaur Island for him.
I'm never going to hear the end of that.
No,
Poor
you won't.
Dinosaur Island.
Well, I can't
love
believe he
you,
never wants.
Dinosaur Island.
I can't believe he never wants to play it again.
All right, let's go, boys. Who wants to start us off with number 20?
With that sass talk, I think
Me?
you should lead us off.
Wow. Well, for number 20, I've got a game that we kind of started playing like this last year. I think we might have played it once the year before, but played a few more times this year. And that's Circadian's First Light.
Hmm.
So it has not been mentioned yet.
That's funny. I think I beat you both times we played it.
Wow.
And I beat you the only time we played it.
See, so I'm not like these guys where I worry about wins and losses.
Okay.
I just love a great game,
Mm.
and I'm surprised that neither of these are going to have it on their list. Well, you didn't play it until recently, so
Yeah, I
it's
only
fine
played
for
it
you.
last week.
Yeah, so, well, maybe it'll be on your list. I doubt it. It's a little bit of a heavier dice placement game
yeah.
From Garfield game.
Very
game.
thinky.
Yeah, so very thinky game. So if there's any analysis paralysis, like there might be for Michaela, then you could have some issues. I've only ever played that 2-player, and I think that's probably the best way to do it. Because
Agreed.
otherwise, I would think it'd become a really, really long game.
Tight.
And become
Yes.
too thinky. And it is a very tight game with resources and also the spots and kind of
Yep.
how you manipulate the dice to get the things you need to score points. And then, yeah, the dice are also, you have to dedicate dice pretty much to get many of the end game points as well.
Mhm.
So you have to also be cycling in, taking actions to get more dice as the game goes on. So I always love like dice worker placement in a way. I think it would be dice worker placement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's a great game. It's a little heavier than some of the other Garfield games, but
I like it, though.
yeah, it's something about it that it has a few unique things in it that I don't really see in any other games, really. So I'm really looking forward to the next game in this series. I think it's coming out in 2022.
Oh,
So
boy.
we will see. And I think they said that it is going to be in a bigger than Ticket to Ride size box.
Wow,
Ooh,
that's surprising,
that
considering
is-
they keep everything in the same size box,
know.
regardless
So-
of what it does
so
to
we will-
production value.
Right, so we will see if that's actually a thing.
Well, if
Supposedly
it's not, we
it
can
is.
just hold, because I would not recommend the production value of this game.
You don't like it?
Well, they have all those individual
that's-
cards, and the
I think
pieces
the
are teeny.
The cards are fine. The wooden pieces are quite small. I will admit that they are hard to.
I'd rather
yeah,
just
pick
have
up.
cubes,
And there aren't-
almost.
Yeah, there aren't many. This is one of the few games where I actually have to use the cards that
Oh, the
are like a
multipliers?
five times and 10 times. I don't really usually in
Maybe
games
we're
have to
playing
do
it wrong.
I don't think so, but yeah, it's a great game. It sounds like these guys would maybe have done it if they had a few more plays. Maybe it will still be on your list, but I would
I
highly
don't-
recommend it.
I don't think it would have made my list just because it is very thinky, and
Mm.
I am known to suffer from a little bit of analysis paralysis from time to
At
time.
least he admits it. That's the first step. So what is your number 20? Is it a thinky game? That
is,
was a steak. That was a
that was
well
a
done
steak.
steak game.
This is a chicken finger of a game. This is silver and gold.
Ooh, that is a chicken
Ooh.
finger. It might just be a nugget.
That's
actually.
lunch meat.
That might be lunch meat.
This game is, I mean, it's pretty basic. Flip and right, polyomino. You're using these shapes to fill in these cards to score points. Fill in these areas with polyomino shapes. But I just really like that it's so easy to get into and to play with the markers. That some games would just have a bunch of cardboard polyomino shapes that you would put onto a board. But this goes the extra step to make it that much more approachable to just have those markers.
Right.
And it's got a great flow, and this is one that I think pretty much anyone can play.
Yeah, for sure. I think you could teach it to most people in a very short amount of time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not too much to get into the game, for sure.
No, not at all.
But yeah, I think it's a great one of the verb and write games, for sure. It's probably one of my favorite ones, if you're not looking for something that's a little bit more, I don't know if I'd say thinky, but just a little bit more of a planning.
This isn't really, because a lot of the and write games will have a lot of combos that you can pull off, and this one doesn't really have that.
Right.
But it's good for when you want something a little simpler.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Well, my number 20 is the Quacks of Quedlinburg with the Herb Witch expansion.
Wow.
Not without it?
I mean, it's really good.
Linda's gonna be mad.
It's really good on its own, but I like it better with the expansion. Yeah, I like it.
Wow.
I don't know. I feel like I've won it too many times.
Wow.
No.
So it's got to be somewhere in that sweet spot of
I
about
have
an
to be able to
80%
win
win
it.
rate.
No.
70 to 80.
I mean, it's a really good game. I wouldn't say I'm like totally in love with the production just because of the paper chips or what cardboard chips. We upgraded those. I'm so glad we got those.
Yes.
Thank you, Pepper.
Would you?
Thank you, Pepper.
I guess would anyone here think that the game would be? I don't know if it's on anyone else's list higher or that, but wherever you rank it in your list, would it be as well ranked if you didn't have the upgraded chips?
As shallow of a gamer as I am, I still don't think that would have affected where I put it.
It probably would for me just because how much we play it, and if we hadn't gotten the upgraded chips, I don't even know what we would be doing.
Right. Yeah. I don't know what they would look like at this point.
Yeah.
And also, I remember when we got the Herb Witches expansion, you could tell the difference between some of the newer chips and the old ones, like some of those cherry bomb white ones. Yeah, and you could feel some too, but yeah, you could definitely tell that it had been played a decent amount. And yeah, at that point, I wouldn't have even said we played it a ton where, there should be a ton of wear on it.
Just really sweaty hands. Yeah, I mean, I guess production value probably doesn't weigh in too much into where I score it. And I feel like this game is one that could go up and down in my scoring here.
So you just need to lose it a couple more times and it'll be right at the top.
No, honestly, there's so much replayability because there's so many different books, but in essence, I still feel like I'm playing a very much the same game, and that's to get to the end of the pot. And the difference is just what you buy for chips to change that. You're still needing black, you're still needing green, you're still needing pink to get those bonuses, and you still need rubies and all that stuff. So there's a core that never changes, which I think is great and stuff. I just it's just a lot of press your luck. And so that I think kind of is stressful for me sometimes. Like, I really like the game, and if I'm in the right mood, it's great because then I can gamble playing that game or something, but that's not always like the thing that I want to be doing. I don't know. It's a great game, and I really do love to play it. Like I said, it can go down and up.
It's top 20.
It can go down and up depending on how much I like it. I would say it more often can go towards one then further up, I think, depending on the day.
Mhm.
So, let's go to 19.
For 19, I think I have another one on my list. I know neither of you have it on your list so far, and I don't think that either of you will have it. So I guess, or I'm guessing.
Is this a BGA game?
No.
Oh.
And it's another one that we just played this year for the first time.
I don't know.
Whistle Mountain.
I suspected this would be on your list.
I forgot about this game completely.
I really like
So much I like it.
The worker. I always like worker placement, and this one has a little less worker placement than some other games. But the way you're using you got 3 different sized airships, and how you can put them out onto either in some action spaces that you can take to lay out different scaffolding or different engines or get some cards. It's nice to have those options, but then you can also put your airships out onto the board and then get a whole bunch of resources and bonuses, which is, I feel, really satisfying. And then I really like the artwork in the game and the way the game looks. I think it's got a nice bright look to it. I do not like the puzzle board putting it together. I don't think I really would like that in any game.
Not too bad.
They just usually are more likely to kind of warp at the edges. So then, like, in the center part, you kind of have it all lifted up a little bit. So anything around there kind of gets
Well, and it's the worst,
jumbled
too,
around.
because you're laying pieces on this
Right.
board. I remember playing it, and it was like, we needed to get a piece to stretch over, and it was
Right.
like...
Right, because you're
Wow.
building up from the bottom upward, because the water rises as the game goes on, which I
The
find
title
is
has
also
nothing to do with the game.
that is true. I
The
will admit
whistles
that.
are wild.
The
and
whistles
there's a
are wild.
mountain in the art. Mac.
It's so random. They're just like, yeah, let's throw this in there.
But no, I just love the building and kind of the way the game progresses with the water going up. So then some of the earlier stuff that you laid, you aren't able to use those any longer. But I'm still not sure. Sometimes I guess it can be tough where you lay a bunch of stuff down and then your opponent pretty much uses something you just built to take advantage of it. But at least when you're laying the scaffolding pieces down, you get a decent amount of points. If you put them right next to other scaffolding pieces, you get 3 to 4 points. Yeah, don't act like that happened to me more than it happened to you.
I know.
So don't give me that.
Which is surprising, because I was anxious that entire game. I was like, I can't let any of my guys go down to that little whirlpool.
Right, yeah, you can lose your guys to a whirlpool,
I'll never
which is
get
great.
it back because I don't know what I'm doing.
No, I think this game. I think I also like the fact that it's just like a huge points game. You're getting all these stars throughout the whole game. You're getting
You are, maybe.
a ton of points. I don't know. It feels satisfying to be getting a little bit of points every single turn, pretty much. Maybe not every turn, but
or
a lot of the turns.
completely dissatisfying if you are not getting any points.
Wow. No, this
You're
is
like,
a great
wow,
game.
I got
This
2
is a
points
great
this
game.
time. I got 13.
It's a great game, and I recommend it. Wow.
So I would say that's another steak, and I've got another chicken finger. Coloretto.
I
Wow.
thought this might make your list.
The
This
color
one.
changing chameleon game.
How many times?
Wow.
How many times have you played this game? I think it's somewhat similar to
Like 4.
Blossoms.
Like 4.
Wouldn't you say?
It's got a similar feel to
Yeah.
Blossoms.
A little push your luck of
I guess.
putting out the cards and then taking them.
I guess, but there's like the whole aspect of if I don't take this, he can take this, but it's better for me to take this other pile over here. Which in Blossoms, it's more so like, oh, that's only at 3, maybe I should try for 4, and I don't know.
Well, Blossom sucks.
Oh boy!
I didn't say Colorado sucks.
You meant it. I could read your mind, Mac.
Wow. I am kind
Oh,
of surprised you don't like Colorado because it is similar.
I didn't say I didn't like it. Boys putting words in my mouth.
It's on your top 50, and you didn't even like your 25.
Well, on to Colorado. First of all, I love the art and the color in the game, which surprised that didn't pull this into your top 50 with those great colors, or maybe it did. I doubt it's in your top 20. And the
Based
the
on
little
my last two
chameleons.
games.
Yes.
Yeah, the brown's a real seller.
Wow.
That was my favorite color.
That was. We
'Cause it
ranked
had
them.
it had a little bit of a what was
green.
a green leaf or pine
Mhm.
pine needle. Oh boy, it just gave it that little extra. It was a very woodsy feel.
Okay. My little outdoorsman.
Wow.
I really like the game, and especially two-player, which is what I play it most, and thinking where to put the card. If it's a good card, maybe you want it for yourself, you want to put it in a pile with other good cards, but then maybe that would help someone else.
Mhm.
And so maybe you want to throw it on this crap pile, but then maybe they take the good pile and you're stuck with that. I really love that. More trying to outthink your opponent. I'm very into that.
He likes that mechanism.
But I don't know, I feel like we've derailed a bit here.
No, it's
Um,
definitely a good game.
It's probably one of my most played games because this is one that everyone that our parents will play.
Mhm. That's
I love
true.
that it comes in this compact box. The colors
yeah.
are really good, like you said. I love the rainbow cards and
Oh,
the cotton
yes.
cards. I think are a
Mhm.
nice touch.
Yeah, I think it's a great package. It's another good game.
Great game. On to
Okay.
back.
I've got 19.
It's probably great.
Mine
No-
is another.
No respect for the chicken finger.
Mine's a lobster.
A lobster.
Oh, I don't even
Tsukiji.
know what that means.
Mine's another card game. Fits nicely into a small box.
Sushi Go Party.
And it is
Port Royal.
Port Royal.
Royal.
Lobster only because it's nautical themed.
Mm.
We got this game I think for Christmas, and we've been playing it a lot throughout the new year. I feel like one of our more played new games. I love it. I so love set collection. I love pushing my luck here. I love.
Oh,
getting
now
my
you're
Now
not
money.
she
pushing
likes
your
to
luck.
push your luck.
I do. This game I do. It's so quick. You're moving around the table. You get your little swords to fend off some pirate ships. Oh, I love it. It's
Certainly
like,
think she just likes push your luck. 2019, it might be in her top 20 games.
yeah,
But no, it is a very fun game.
yeah.
And I think it's a good one at higher player counts. I don't remember
Yeah.
what you can play up to.
And I'm probably biased too because anything that has a faster pace to it is something I'm gonna like more, and I think that's the difference. Is Quacks is kind of a bit slower paced sometimes. It's still fast paced, but it still can be a little laggy.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
Port
because
Royal,
you
I feel
gotta
like
slow
it's-
down between rounds and
Mhm.
figure all that out.
I just want to keep pulling. I want to buy. I'm already knowing what I'm buying. I'm going.
Yeah, but when I go, then it's 2 red ships in a row, and I'm like, woo. That was a fun turn. What a blast. I could have taken 1 coin or I explode. I should have got some swords, I guess.
And then because the front of the card is also the money, or the back of the card serves 2 purposes or whatever. I find
I
that
like that.
super intriguing. Like, you just don't know what's out there, what's been called, what's not been called, because it's been used as a coin card instead. So
That is fun.
Bonanza. Those cards are coins.
I do love those too. If you didn't have the in between player interaction, I'd probably like that one a lot more.
You guys are
Wow.
the reason that that's not in my top 50. I love that game,
I do love that game.
I like it.
and it's his fault. He said he overplayed it.
Huh?
Bonanza?
Oh, yeah, a little bit. But it was just because I was so good at the game.
Okay. 18, please.
18. So this game has been on someone's list.
Quacks a Coiling Bear.
Nope. It was in our first video, I think.
The Mud.
Nope.
I can't remember.
What's on my list?
Yes.
Is it? Dino.
Ticket to Ride
Island.
Europe.
It is Dinosaur Island.
Ah,
Well, Zach likes it more than Jesse.
I didn't know I liked it more than you. But it's another worker placement game. You said before it's got some fun worker placement and you have the different types of DNA and having to go up those or fill that up as you go on and choosing whether or not you want to do that type of thing or if you want to send your scientists as workers. I really like how that all works out. And I really like the way the phases work and how
Yep.
easy it is to kind of follow from phase to phase. Each board has the phase number on it, so you can kind of easily keep track of where you're going.
That takes up a lot more table space, but it makes it really clear.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, just being able to build your own dinosaur park, I feel the theme come through a little bit more.
Yep.
Than
I think that
most
probably has
games.
one of the stronger themes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of the games that we've played for sure. Especially as a worker placement game.
Yes.
Usually the worker placement Euro style games don't have as much. I think this one for that has pretty good amount of theme.
Yeah.
And then just being able to build your own dinosaurs, trying to get as many as you can, but also trying to make sure you don't just let them run wild and kill a bunch of your guests. And you're hoping you don't pull out those nasty hooligans.
They're the worst.
Yeah, and just like if you're pulling them out like one at a time, it's just so fun to be like, okay, I need one more so then I can get whatever, and then you pull out a hooligan, and it's like,
You didn't even
No.
say the best part.
what?
The meeples have cowboy
The
hats.
people do have cowboy hats.
hats. I thought you were just
The
talking
Red
dino
Ranger.
peoples.
Oh.
Okay, those cowboy hats are pretty cool.
What were you gonna say?
He's the ranger. He's the
And the dice are really nice too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we didn't even get.
dinosaurs are pretty cool.
They are pretty cool.
I love the pink.
I like the retro look to it. I know there's
Yep.
people that don't like it, but I think it works for this game.
Agreed.
And I think the Kickstarter version was probably a little bit more deluxeified, but I already think the retail version is pretty good. So it's a solid game. It's definitely not a number 47, but
Wow, I can't believe it's actually 48.
is it 48?
He's
It's
not helping
48.
himself here.
I know. But I can't believe that I like my 48 more than you like your 18, because I know that I like that game more than you.
That doesn't sound like it.
Family
My
divided.
18
Which he likes.
is a
more.
game that you haven't played, and I don't think I'm not even going to let you play it. It's a BGA
Abyss.
game, Abyss. There are not really a lot of parts to this game, but my favorite part is how you buy these Lord cards that are one of your main sources of points, and it's similar to Alhambra, where they require a certain amount, and also they tell you how many colors and one specific color that you need to use to pay that. So it'll be like, this needs 10, one of them needs to be green, and there has to be 2 other types of colored money in there as well.
So is that kind of like building of huts in Stone Age?
Not exactly. but-
Like to buy those ones that need multiple resources?
yeah, very similar to those ones specifically.
Yeah.
Yes. And you also you can go up and get the money cards, you can pull a card, and everyone else gets to bid on that because they're numbered 1 through 4. So if there's a 4 out there, people can bid that and give you pretty much wild money to buy that as well. I guess I don't have to explain the game.
Is there a
but
printed version? Or is it strictly on BGA?
There is a printed version, but I've solely played it on BGA.
And that doesn't the print. Don't they have 4 different covers?
Oh, yes, they do.
So if
but-
you're a real collector, if he really loves the
Is it
game,
a new game or is it just like an older
it's
reproduced
a
one?
few
A
years
few
old.
years old. Yes.
Yeah, they printed it with 4 different covers. So if you really love it, you got to get them all.
Gnarly. And hang the other 3 on the wall where you're not using one.
There we go.
No, but and the art in this game. I mean, I've only played the digital version, but it looks really nice. And each of those lords gives you a special ability that you can use throughout the game, and there's locations that you can get as well, which give you more special scoring abilities. So there's a lot of replayability in this one.
Nice.
Well, my 18 is Viticulture.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love this game.
Coming to BGA, it might make my list.
Ooh. I love this game, especially with the Tuscany expansion. I feel like that makes the game so much better. Just because
It was bad that it came out right when I was falling out of love with the game.
yeah.
Wow.
Bad timing.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that I love like the orange cards or anything like that, but I love the way the board has
One of them's
changed.
got a statue of Jamie. A little bust.
So yeah, I don't know. I like wine. So pour me a glass of wine while we
So
play
that's the
it.
game. You gotta get your viticulture glasses.
I feel like I like it better at like a 2-player, maybe a 3-player count. Anything above four and above, I kind of feel like it drags and that I'm severely limited. And if you don't get a good hand to start with of grapevines, you are just going to be digging through those green cards trying to find something. It's hard. I feel like it's hard to make them work, especially if you get cards that need buildings in order to, because like you can't make enough money to build the buildings and you can't get the vines, so then you waste like
Go sell a
a
field.
whole,
You
a
can do
whole
all
year.
that. You can do all of that.
And then I feel like there are some things that are useless in that game, like the cottage, the
A lot of those
the building things on the player
those
mat.
visitor cards, a lot of them are very
Yeah.
specific.
Uh-huh.
Very
Yeah.
useless.
Oh, these guys.
Useless most of the time.
I wonder when she's gonna get into the game she actually likes here.
Look, I said I love this game.
I know.
I did. I can't help but be negative.
I can't help but be negative.
I've said things that I like. I've said things that I like.
She
I
likes
know.
wines.
She likes wine.
I think it's great. You get to sell them, move them over, combine them.
That's another one
Fill
where I
your
think
order.
the theme comes across very well,
Mhm.
even
Mhm.
for a worker placement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
And I love the Grande workers. What a cool idea. What a cute production. I love
I'm a
it.
big boy.
Well, Zach didn't believe me. He carries 2 buckets.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I
I
didn't know
might
that.
change my list.
If I
Goodbye,
knew they were,
Dinosaur Island.
if I would have known that they were carrying buckets in general, then I would have probably believed you. I just didn't know in general that they were
I'm
carrying
pretty
buckets.
sure they're carrying buckets. I don't know what else they'd be carrying.
They
They smash
probably
grapes
are.
in buckets.
They
So,
probably are.
yeah. Great game. Cute production.
It is. Number 17. We've got another Bruno Catala game.
Who dat?
Wow.
The man who did Abyss.
Oh, okay.
and,
Sorry.
and King Domino.
Do you have a,
Oh.
do you have a guess?
I think I have a
He was
guess.
trying to go for the clean. No, wait. Actually, I don't think he had. For Dragomino.
Geronimo.
Whatever it is.
Mhm.
Because that was going for the kid spiel,
Mm.
I think.
Oh.
I don't remember if it won.
And this is a little harder game,
Yes.
a little bit. And was it released the same year as Abyss?
It might have been. I don't remember.
I think it was. 'Cause I just watched that Best Years in Gaming.
and it
they
had
had
that.
a 5 Tribes and Abyss.
That is a pretty good year. Well, I don't know Abyss, but I am assuming if you like it
It's
that
good.
much that it must be. I know a lot of people like it, so it must be pretty good. And yes, it is 5 Tribes. So, 5 Tribes, it's one that I haven't played as much recently either. But I just,
What are you looking at me for?
but I just, it was probably one of the heaviest games we got early on.
Mm, yeah.
And I just really love it. I love the way that you pick up the meeples and try to lay them out in a trail.
Yeah, that Moncala
Yeah,
movement.
yeah, and then just laying them down as a group, and then each color has a different power that it can do. Oh, it's so satisfying. Yes, it can cause AP, and I think the best way this game is played is 2-player
Yep,
because you
by
get
far.
2 pawns each when you're doing the bidding, so you can sometimes get 2 turns in a row, or you can kind of maybe get the first turn and the 4th turn, or the first and third, kind of whatever it ends up being. I just really like how the bidding works in the game, and then also doing that, trying to math it out in your head as to whether or not it's worth getting the first turn sometimes, just because there might be a way to, there might be only one great move left or something in a round, or kind of late in the game, and trying to decide, well, is it worth bidding this much because you can still get some more points out of it if the person
Yeah.
decides to bid more than you, and then you're out those coins, which coins at the end of the game are points.
Yes.
So it's pretty big. I don't know. This was another early game we had that used meeples outside of Carcassonne, and that also made me really, really fall in love with it. And it's got a great production.
For sure.
I think the coins could maybe be a little bit better, but
I like them.
yeah, I mean they're not the worst coins that I've seen, but and I don't know what you would do because you have to make it so that they can be hidden.
Yep.
But no, it's a great game. Bruno Gonzalez had a great year.
Ooh, yes, he did. As good as that is, I think Abyss is 100 times better. It's completely replaced 5 Tribes for me.
Wow.
I'd like to play neither.
My number 17, 5 Tribes.
Whoa! We got a crossover.
On the
Oh
number
my
you're
God.
very first.
Finally!
You did it, boys.
I figured you were lying. I'm like, wow, I didn't think it would have. I thought you liked the game.
Oh, I love the game. It's got so much to it. You've got set collection. You've got those gins that you can hire for
yeah.
special abilities. You've got all the different colored meeples with their unique abilities. The locations with their unique abilities. The palm trees, palaces, and like you said, bidding for your turn order. And
Wow. Jeez.
You just listen this stuff up. I'm like, that sounds like a lot to take care of.
Sorry.
it's a 2-player game.
What about bidding?
Keep going.
But that is just so fun trying to figure out what's worth it and what's not. Trying to set up yourself for a huge combo move, 1-2 move,
Mm-hmm.
and to see if it's worth it. Because if you're paying 20 coins, what's your points?
Mm-hmm.
For maybe a 27-point move, you can probably just let the other person go first and
You
make
should
up
be able
those
to come up.
7 points somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's by far my favorite part of the game, just figuring out how to make the best
Mm-hmm.
moves.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I was actually, after you had said the Abyss the last time, I was going to guess that we were going to have a crossover on this number, the same game, but I didn't. I'm like, I have a feeling that 5 Tribes is definitely coming up on your list.
Yes.
But yeah, it's
But-
a great game.
But like
You
said,
should love it more.
I love how much you two love it.
Oh,
And
thank
that's
you.
enough for me.
but yeah, we haven't played this one very often. It's probably one of our
Mhm.
least played for how long we've had it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'd like to play it a lot more, and I think it could climb the list quite a bit.
I
Too
think so,
busy
too.
with your guys' current hotness
Well,
all the time.
but no, yeah, that speaks to how great it is. Because yeah, we haven't played that much, but number 17 on this list is pretty great. It's better than Dinosaur Island for both of us.
By a couple numbers or by a couple dozen.
Well, it looks like
I think
we
she's
have
setting us up for a three-way
Three-way crossover.
On the number.
Three-way
On the
crossover.
number.
On 17, we have Pompeii. Which no one respects me for, but I love it and I don't care.
like it. It's got the volcano.
It's
I do
got
like
the volcano. I don't know. I love picking up cards. I love putting your people out there. I love getting them out as fast as you can.
I think we're actually getting into the games that she likes.
is interesting.
She sounds like she likes it.
It's a little gotcha-y when they throw your person into the volcano.
When
when
as
Zach-
she's the one throwing them in.
After Zach draws 2 omen cards in a row.
Wow.
It's a bit putsy. There's not a great production value here, but I don't know. Jesse got it for me for Christmas a couple years ago, and I've just loved it ever since. So it's got something indefinable that I'm like,
That is true.
I love going back
Someone
to
get
it.
this woman some meeples.
I know.
I feel
They give you these stupid little hexagon
Right.
things. It's like,
maybe it gets too real throwing things into the
True.
fire. or
no,
the
I want
volcano.
to.
No. This one is another one that feels thematic. Even though all the stuff it's pretty meh.
Abstract.
Mm.
A little
And
under average, I
Oh,
would say.
yep.
Kind of the quality of stuff. But it still feels thematic. It feels
It feels like,
Like
you're
you're
running
throwing
from
people-
lava because
Right.
it's slowly closing in on you, and you're like,
It
how am
does
I going
feel
to get
like it.
all these guys out?
I will say that.
and lava has a mind of its own and knows exactly where to go to cut
It
you
does.
off.
It's so rude.
Cuts you off at the entrance.
Dang it,
Every
lava.
time.
No, it's a great pick.
It is for me. So, let's go to 16.
Let's go to 16. Ooh, this guy also made a game on this that's already been mentioned on this list. It's not the same game. It's a different game.
I know. is there another type, kind of a sister or brother of this game,
Yes.
that we may prefer more?
Sister or brother of this game?
I don't know.
Mm,
It's got to be the guy that made Quacks. Did he also make Gons?
no.
I was thinking Silver and Gold with
Oh.
Philip.
Nope, not that.
Oh,
Well, what is it?
It's the one with yours. Meester Feaster.
oh,
Maracaibo.
Oh, he made Port Royal?
Yes.
oh! You fooled me.
Wow,
Sorry, I
I'm
wasn't gonna-
surprised.
Yeah, I really, really love the game.
After we learn how to play it,
Yeah, I don't know.
it's a good game, though.
It might have been my rules reading that threw us off, but I don't know if the rules were the greatest.
I read that as well, and it was...
Yeah, it was tough to
If I
first
have
get
to
into
read
it.
the rules, then
Yeah.
it's bad.
But yeah, once we got it figured out, I really, really loved what the game had offered. It made me kind of upset, a little bit, that when we were making our decision between Western Legends and Great Western Trail, I'm like, oh, I wonder if Great Western Trail is as good as this game. I don't know. I'll have to try it at some point. But no, Maracaibo, I haven't tried the story version of it. I was going to once, but I didn't get around to it. But I just love the way part of it just seems so simple, but at the same time, there's a lot of choices to be made, and to try to get stuff done while you can, and kind of keep up with your opponent going around, and making sure you don't get too far behind, so that you can still take a lot of good actions. And I think the most unique thing, to me anyway, is how you can place some of your small workers out to do special actions at those specific spots,
The
different
assistant?
islands, the assistants on the different islands and places there.
Yeah, I like that, except that you can only do one of those per turn, and the ones that I drew, I got 3 on the same space.
Yes, that
wasn't a
isn't
good
ideal.
choice.
But no, I just feel like that. I don't know. I feel like if you can get different ones
Yeah.
at least, and you can
Yeah.
get a few of them out there, it just, I don't know. It adds so much. It's sort of like in a worker placement game that adds areas like Lords of Waterdeep or something, but kind of not the same way, because it's something only you can use at that. And
I
then
like that.
But don't you have
Yeah.
to use the assistant instead of the action at the...
yes,
Yeah.
yep. So yeah, it's denying you using the
But
normal
at least you
thing.
have a different choice.
Right. Because I think you can do one or the other. So it at least still gives you the option of doing the original, but then you also have an additional option. Or if you did have those, you'd have multiple options
yeah.
at the same. So yeah, I really love it, and I love pretty much the whole art in the game, especially the board.
Yeah,
I love the blue
that was
and the
so
green.
colorful.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be that just bright blue. I just really love that. And the components are pretty
I
good.
can't even attack the art.
Wow. Good.
The cards are
Finally.
great.
I'm glad that you like it.
Good.
In the words of Mac.
Wow.
I really like it. I feel like Maracaibo is going to sneak into my top 50 eventually after a couple more plays. I will never probably win this game, but for
Same.
me, it's fun. It's fun even if I don't win it, and I think that's a staple of a good game. And so I need to figure out the scoring and just better motion of the ocean down there.
Yes, I didn't
But,
quite figure out how things worked until maybe 70% of the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you only played it one
Yes,
time,
yeah.
right?
yes.
So you
I
could come
I could
around.
see it actually being
Yeah.
decently approachable.
I thought you were gonna say decent.
It could actually be decent on more
Makes
plays.
me want to go to the Caribbean.
It does give that feel, but no, it's a game I really love.
I'm surprised.
Super steak.
Super sticky game.
It is a steaky game I like for a change.
Ooh, that's good. Well, it's probably because it doesn't feel like it. It probably is long, but it doesn't feel like it's long.
No, because you're racing around the islands. I love it. You're just on to the next, on to the next. All right, Jesse.
Speaking of on to the next.
Yeah.
On to my 16. I thought maybe this would make your list, but I don't think it's going to anymore. And that is a big box. And it's right behind your head. Suburbia Collector's Edition.
Ooh.
I was looking at Suburbia for a while, and I was considering getting it, the original, and I ended up not doing it. I waited a couple of years. I saw the big box with the Super Deluxe new artwork, and I knew I had to get it. And I was not disappointed in the gameplay. The tiles give you an instant benefit, which, like we said, I love to get rewards in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So you draft the tiles, place them out, they get you an instant benefit and an ongoing bonus throughout the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love that you get your income and points every turn.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you're playing a bunch of tiles, end of round, okay, everybody get your income, and then you really don't feel like you can make up much ground.
Right.
Where here, just any turn, you can kind of change your strategy a little bit and start making more income or more points.
Right.
And make a comeback.
Right. Yeah, especially if someone is a little bit ahead, because then you start going by more
yes.
and more of those
Yep.
houses, which knocks you down quicker and quicker. Which I think in one of the games we played of it, you got so high that it was pretty much knocking you way down, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was giving me somewhat of a chance to get back in. But yeah, I've only played it a couple times. It didn't make my list. It was considered, but I just felt like I hadn't played it enough to know yet.
Yeah.
But I could definitely see it making a future list.
I think Mac would like it.
I think so. It's just
It's-
of the things are a little hard to keep track of.
Yeah, it was easier. I was very worried about that because some of them have ongoing benefits for how many certain type of tiles everyone has.
Oh.
But it actually, at least in a two-player game, wasn't overly hard to keep track of.
It's a good choice.
What you got?
Well-
Maybe she snuck and played Suburbia solo a couple times. We
Wouldn't
have a
doubt it.
crossover.
I have not. I'm going to take us back in time, away from the Suburbia era, and we're era.
Error.
Error.
Well, I was gonna say,
Wow.
wow, she doesn't. What
Wow.
we've become today, she does not like.
We are going to go back to a much simpler time,
Oh boy.
Ooh.
where you can mine for gold, ride your pony, take out a bandit or two, and rustle some
Ah.
cattle. And we are at Western Legends. Yeehaw, indeed, Jesse. It's a great game. It's our first open world.
So many thematic
sandbox.
games here.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for a good theme, I guess. I don't know. I love it. Every time we play it, I think it's great. I do tend to do the same strategy over and over again, but I feel like I know it well enough now that I can maybe try to do the bandit side, the bad guy side of things.
I think that's just so hard to do.
It is so hard. I feel like you're just way up against things there. But great two-player. You have to add in the men in black, which I think is a neat and interesting piece. I don't know. There's not a lot about this game I don't like. It's great.
I agree. That's why I had it
We
on my
just
list.
imagine how high it could be if we got some cowboy hats.
Well, and we listen to Western music while we play it too, so it's like it's a real rootin' tootin' good time.
That's a good pick. I agree with it. We'll see if Jesse makes it a three-way crossover eventually. I don't know. We will. Well, now I think if we go back even a little bit further in time, well, actually,
Babe, you're not a history buff.
I'm not. So
Is this-
it might actually be going back forward in
Is
time
this-
a little bit.
Is this planet?
No.
It's
When would you?
Space-based.
When would you say that is?
1850s
Okay, so then we're going forward in time a little bit again.
and forward.
Huh?
1850s and forward
Yeah.
up until the 1900s.
Okay, so then, yeah, so a little bit forward. So we're going to go... What are you looking at me like that
To
for?
England.
No?
What the heck is going on?
And we're going back across the sea
To England.
to Europa, Europe,
To Ticket to Ride.
to a 1920s Europe.
Brass Birmingham.
Scythe.
Oh, Europa should have been the key there, huh? My bad.
No,
I have not played this
1920s.
one enough.
Okay.
you claimed you played it enough when I
Well-
asked you if you wanted to play.
Okay, I've played it enough.
Wow. You didn't
But not
want to play
enough
with
to
any of
know
these-
all of these hints. I thought that was a made-up... I thought he made up a universe for that.
Well,
Or is
it
it
is
alternate
loosely,
alternate
yeah.
history? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Oh.
So, but it's based in it's supposed to be like
I thought it was something
1920s.
Some completely made up Game of Thrones something.
No, I think it's supposed to. I mean, based on the rise of Fenris, I would say it's sort of based in the 1920s, some history
I'm
to
not a
it.
thematic
Sort of.
Around World War One.
Yeah, sort of. So
Oh, interesting.
yeah, I didn't think this was going to be this high, but I thought about it, and it's compared to a
This
lot of
high
the games.
being 16 or this high? Like you
You
thought
see,
it'd be towards one?
that's why
You
we
gotta
always
say-
get confused
I
with
know,
you
but
because you
I've
say
been
it backwards.
I've been saying towards one lately.
Yes, I didn't think it would be
So far away
This-
from one?
this high on my list because we're getting higher. We're getting higher.
But it's good.
But we're
good.
getting
It's good on my
lower.
list.
This good, better, gooder.
Wow. Yeah, that's why you've been confusing us this whole time.
We're talking about steaks and chicken. Let's just say juicier. I didn't think it'd be
Getting
this juicy.
juicier. Yeah, it's just when I was thinking about it, it's just one that after I play it, I just want. That night, I'm always thinking about what I could do to do better in the game, or like what strategies I could take going forward. And I don't always feel that in every game. Like sometimes, usually when I leave the table, I might think about it a little bit, but it won't be that much. Whereas this one, sometimes I'll even go look up some videos on it of other people playing it or their thoughts on a certain faction or something. I just find it interesting. I love the art in the game. And all the components, love the different wooden meeples. Would definitely put a high standard for Stonemaier games,
Yep.
for me anyway. And just the changing up of the different factions, which kind of have a variable player power. So you're switching that every game potentially if you want to, and also switching the mat. So kind of the combination of the two.
For me, those aren't as obvious of variable player powers as some games.
What do you mean?
I think there's a little deeper strategy to explore their powers. Where I
In
like
which-
something a little more obvious where
Oh,
you have to really dive into the factions to
I don't know that you really have to dive. I think you have to kind of
Just
get to,
in the-
you have to
Maybe
get
a
to
few
know
of
them a
them.
little better for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Some of
yeah,
them are more
like
obvious.
I'm sure like my strategies in the game are nothing compared to people that have played this game, 1,000 times.
Actually,
I
my
never
Which I'm
would've
sure there are
solved
people
it.
that have done that and they know, they can get it
Yeah.
in a certain amount of turn. You put together some combination and they'll be like, I can
It's like
roughly
chess.
finish this and this. It pretty much can be for some people. Not me, and that's why it's still quite fun to me. And we're currently going through the Rise of Fenris, so
Mhm.
and I've really, really enjoyed that so far.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
Mhm.
I once thought this was going to be too heavy for me. We did not want to get it for the longest
Yeah,
time.
we
but,
waited for years.
but yeah, then we got it, and I've been very satisfied with it.
I like it more and more every time I play it. I'll never
Ah,
be
feeling left out.
I'll never be real good at it, but I feel more comfortable playing it now.
Well, once it gets on BGA, maybe I'll try it. My 15 is a game that we've played like 5 times in the past week, and that is Pandemic.
Ooh.
This one is a surprisingly quick game.
Mhm.
First, you start off with probably my favorite part, the most exciting part of the game is the initial infecting of cities and seeing the problem that you're going to have to solve.
The pandemic's really done a number on you.
I've gone mad! And I really love in this game that you can think, like I usually do, think that you've got it under control. And you're like, oh, we don't need to go to yellow, that's fine. We've cured it, we don't need to eradicate it.
Mhm.
And then it can really come back to bite you later and
Mhm.
lose you the game, like we did in one of the games.
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't played it that many times before, but now that I've played it a few more times with you, I would agree that I like it more than I had originally thought I did. It's one of the few cooperative games that I do enjoy.
Yeah.
But maybe it'll help me grow to become more of a co-op player, so we'll see. I doubt it, but Maybe. It depends on the game.
Ain't gonna work on Mac.
No, like Starla from OFPG, I don't play co-op games.
I really like that. Every turn feels like a puzzle. You know what you want to do and what you should do. You want to clear this area or go cure this disease or get a card from another player, and you have to figure out how you can get to them in the fewest amount of turns. And I really like that. It's also one of my maybe my top solo game currently.
That's good.
Nice.
It's nice that you can bring that solo perspective in.
Yeah.
No. You're the only one that really plays a lot of the solo. I played Everdell. That's pretty much it.
Rugwort is your only experience. I feel a little bad for you.
Wow.
My 15 is another one of my signature blanket rights.
Ooh.
And,
Oh, it's a flippin' right.
yes. It is Welcome to Your Perfect Home.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
I think this was one of the first ones you brought home that was this kind of style. Flipping the cards, getting that associated icon, putting it in your house block while also trying to get the goal cards. That is a lovely puzzle for my brain. That is absolutely what my brain is like. Yes, this is good. This is what we like to distract us. This is the kind of brain puzzle we like. And so I think it's great.
I don't see any difference between that and Five Tribes.
Yeah,
Very
no
little.
difference at all. I really don't have a lot of negative things to say about this game. I just think the games I like ahead of this towards one are just ones I like better. So, I mean, yeah, I got nothing, and I'm excited to try because we recently got the
Dry erase.
Yeah, dry erase and the winter, summer, something
Yeah.
expansion or whatever. So I'm kind of excited to see how that plays out. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
That's another one that you can play with. What is it? 1 to 100 players.
that's what it says on the box.
However many sheets you got.
Yeah.
But no, that's a really fun game. It's not like one of those that we said where you kind of get bonuses that chain together either, but no, it's a really enjoyable game trying to manage
There's not
those
bonuses,
different...
but you get things for different icons, which I think is a neat
Mhm.
play.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
it's a good game.
I like it.
Ooh, number 14. This one just had a game in the series on Kickstarter.
Oh, yep.
I think it's going to be a trilogy, if I had to guess. And
know.
the new game rhymes with this one.
I don't know.
Does not have in the.
That's true.
Oh,
In the Hall of the Mountain King.
what's the new one?
Fall of the Mountain
Fall of the Mountain King. Okay.
King. Oh, this is another one of those. Like I've said with my list, I've just got a little bit of everything. It feels like my list has a little bit of everything that just feels different than other games. And this game is definitely no exception. It doesn't feel to me like any other game that we have. It just has a bunch of mechanisms that at first sight kind of look like they were maybe just all thrown together.
I want this, and this in this game.
Right, and it just somehow works. It's just such a unique game compared to other ones where, yeah, you've got the cascading resources. You had this on your list. I don't think you will, but I like that. And then the polyomino kind of going through the mountain and trying to get to as close to the center as you can, and then getting the statues and the podiums built if you can as close in, so just score as many points as you possibly can. And I don't know, there's just something about it that I just really enjoy, how it all comes together, and it just feels so unique. I'm interested in trying the co-op or the solo version of this. I don't know exactly how those work. And I think there's also a team. Did you say there was a Teams version of it?
Yeah, there's a 2v2 version in the base game.
That'd be interesting. I'm not really sure how that works. But yeah, I really like this one at 2 players, possibly 3. I don't know that I would. What did we play it at? 5 one time.
5. That
It just
was
gets to be
hell on
a
earth.
long game, which is true for a lot of games. When you start
Yeah.
getting up to that player count, they get to become quite long. So it's not just this game that suffers from that, but I really love the game. I would definitely check it out if you're looking for a unique experience where you're kind of building a route with polyominoes and you've got a unique cascading
Yep.
pyramid with resources going down.
Finally, not a worker placement game for you.
That's true. Maybe there'll be an expansion someday to add some worker placement.
We
for
need
me.
more in this game.
I am gonna contact what is it?
Burnt Island.
Burnt Island Games tomorrow, and I'm gonna tell them we need some worker placement in the Hall of the Mountain King.
Well, here is a game by Mr. Worker Placement himself, Reiner Knizia. Max, like what?
Agricola?
Wow. No.
Oh no,
It's-
that's Ube. My bad.
Put 2 pictures of them up on the screen.
I couldn't tell you.
No, this man is not known at all for worker placement. This is a Lost Cities.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's a good choice.
Much better than Arboretum. Well, you did
So
convince me they
much
are
better.
a little similar.
Yeah.
I will give you that. But
Lost
this
Cities
one,
is much better.
they both look good. Lost Cities looks better,
Wrong.
more colorful. The
I usually
all
like
the
more
car-
colorful. Arboretum looks better.
Artery
all-
looks better.
The cards line out to form a panorama.
That's true. That's
true.
true.
I do like that about it. I'll give it that. But I like the simplicity of the art in Arboretum a lot better.
Yeah.
I just there's something about the art in this. I usually like colorful, but it doesn't quite do it for me in Lost Cities. It's not that it's bad. It just isn't. I'd say.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it. But I like the risking one of your points, because whenever you place a card on an expedition, a color, you are taking negative 20 points, and I like that because sometimes you'll do that just hoping
You get
that
something.
you're going to get something because you have nothing else in your hand. But
Right.
maybe that's the only low card you have that you want to start off with.
Right.
And a little bit of keep away that you play, trying to hold the other player's cards in your hand
Mhm.
until possibly they place a card higher than that, so that you can throw it out and rub it in their face.
Wow.
I
And,
like that.
and Arboretum is the nasty one. At least that one is. Arboretum's a tighter game.
Yeah.
So I think you're more likely to have to give them something in Arboretum than this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
You just have a little bit more to work with in this one.
But Arboretum, you only score like 17 points, and this
That's
one
true.
you can get a multiplier.
Or you could get like negative 40
You
points.
could get negative 100 points. You could get 250
You put
points
those handshakes
positive.
out there, and you get double or triple negatives.
Yeah, you could get negative 80 points possibly on one hand.
That is true.
And they're
But
done
you-
that, still like it better than Arboretum.
I don't know if you've done that, but maybe.
Seems like I would have to take a lot of effort to do that.
But no, it's a good game.
I thought you came around because you played this a lot on Board Game Arena.
I did, and I got into the top 100. And I do like it. It was in consideration. I don't know.
It was a good pick, Jesse. I like it.
It is a good pick.
All right.
Yes.
It's a
well,
great pick.
moving along from
There we
that
go.
great choice is my 14, and it is one that's already been mentioned in our top 50. No surprise there. A lot of these have been, but it's a comfort game, I think, and that's why it ranks high for me. 'Cause
Is it a Stonemeyer game?
It is not. It is Alhambra.
Ooh.
And this
Crossover with me.
is, yeah.
I had it right
Straight that
above
high.
Dinosaur Island.
I really like Alhambra.
I wonder if she doesn't want the expansions.
I really don't. I like the game just
I
as
agree.
it is. I wish we kind of played it more often, but at the same time, I felt like we played a lot kind of when we first got it. So that's probably why we don't play it as much now. I don't know that I like to use all the functions of the game, like the trading out of the pieces.
Yeah.
You can take one. I don't know. Seems putsy.
I think you have. I mean, like I said, the reason it didn't make my list mainly is because of the wall feature type thing. Just, I mean, it was in consideration because I do still really like the game, but yeah, I think that at least allows you to move
Like,
pieces
especially
to fix your
when
walls.
you have to have a path backwards to the center,
Yeah.
so you can't really just
But yeah,
build off.
yeah, sorry.
That
Mm-hmm.
hurts it a lot for me. Otherwise, it could be right up here as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the wall piece. I think it's frustrating if I don't get like a piece I want. I love paying with exact change. I feel like this is another one that can probably go up and down depending on how the gameplay is that day. So that probably isn't super fair to some of these other games, but it's one of those original games that kind of got us more into it, and so it's always nice to pull it out of the box. A little nostalgic, simpler times.
Simpler times like 5 Tribes. I think I got those around the same time.
Yeah, but only one of them made my top 50. So.
Would you get some of the like, if it? I think the only way you can that I know of is just getting the big box. Get them all. If you could just get like the top 3 rated ones, would you get like these mini module type things expansions?
Maybe I'd have to see what they all do to the game.
'Cause I think there were some that are ranked pretty highly, but then there's like a handful that are just not thought of as very good. So
Yeah.
I don't think I would want, what is it, 17?
18.
Yeah.
However many expansions either for that, but I would think that there would probably be enough of the good ones or great ones in there that I would probably add it to it.
Yeah. No, it's a great game. I like trying to get different colors or a lot of one color, and sometimes it just is serendipity, and you happen to have the money for a tile that comes out and the color you need and in the coins you want. So, I don't know. Good game.
It's true. And I like the way the scoring works.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of, that card is just randomly in there, and
Mhm.
eventually you'll flip it over. So you're kind of always like, in a way it's it's not really pushing your luck.
No.
Because it's not like you're usually just holding a ton of buildings or something and waiting. But it's kind of like, oh, if I could just get one more, I can get ahead in this, and then hopefully I can pull it. But no, it's a great pick. Now we're going from one king to another kingdom.
Kingdom Builder.
No. Bunny Kingdom,
Oh.
number 13. I feel like this may be another exact crossover with Jesse. Or have you already said it?
I haven't said it. No.
Okay. Well, that's my guess.
So I
That-
tried to
this
add
one-
a little disgust to that.
I'm still guessing it. Oh, it's a card drafting game, and I just really, really love it. And it's also area control. I love the art on the cards of this game, and I don't know. It's just,
He's so good at it.
I don't know that I'm so good at it, but I just love the way it goes from 2 to 4 players really well, I
Yeah,
think.
It does. It does.
Just the way it changes how you do it. Like in a 2-player game, you are playing half your cards and
Yeah, it's a lot
discarding half yours.
more. Take that.
Right. It can be more take that because you can discard a card that would fill in a space that would help someone kind of connect their fief and make it a bigger fief. But no, I love the different ways you can score with the parchment cards. It just gives everyone a chance going into the end of the game
Yeah.
because I think
I
you
need
could get-
those parchment cards.
Because you could get 100 points, 100 plus points in
yeah,
those.
I think Taylor was over 100 points behind in the last time we played with
Yeah.
him, and he came back and he
was
scored
crazy.
he scored over 100 points in parchments.
I had the
or
W
quite a bit
until
more.
we did parchment. I was like, how bad could it be?
Right.
I was like, oh, that's
And he
bad.
made up a lot of ground with that because the rest of his game wasn't amazing.
To say the least. Sorry, Taylor.
But no, I just love the luxury resources. And now we got the expansion to it,
Yep.
and I think that just makes it even better. It's even
It
brighter
adds
stuff in it.
Even more good cards
Yeah.
to the deck.
Yeah.
Makes
Whenever
your
you see
decision
those,
so much harder.
yes, for sure. But yeah, whenever I see, at least now, because it's still somewhat new to us, the expansion. Whenever I see those cards, I'm just so excited to be like, oh, where in the clouds is this one? I just am like, I might just take it even if it doesn't do me any good. But no, it's a great game. I'm
Yeah.
guessing Someone will be talking about it.
I said
Later.
it earlier.
I know, but I think someone else might be talking about it.
Cookie?
Maybe Cookie.
Maybe.
Cookie loves the game.
We'll see. You think exact crossover?
Yes.
Well, no, it's not.
Dang it.
This game.
Wow,
is...
how good is it for you? Oh, boy, it might have went to top 5.
Maybe. 5 Tribes used to be there. Dinosaur Island used to be there. There's room.
There's room to move.
This next game could easily be in the top 10, but we've recently been playing a somewhat lackluster campaign type
Ooh.
campaign game.
I thought this one would be higher. I thought you were going to pull a Tom Vassell and put this one at number 2.
Oh, I know what it is now.
Space.
Boss.
Space. I want this one higher, but it's gone down a little bit because so many great games, and that campaign is not that great. If you
No.
can call it a campaign.
Right.
But I still love it. I love rolling dice, and this is similar to Catan, in that from 1 to 12 you can get different benefits for whatever's on your board. You buy different cards, upgrading each of those numbers. I love that you can split the dice as well to get 2 of the 1 through 6 options as well. And the real good stuff of the game is deploying those cards and scoring them or benefiting from them on everyone else's turns, which you actually score that more than you do for the cards on your turn.
Right. Well, depending on how many player game it is.
Yeah, true. But yeah, 4-player game, that would be huge if you could get some point cards up there.
Right, for sure.
And there's a lot of special abilities, and the expansion adds more of them, which I think the expansion in the end will be a positive thing, but just right now,
I'm not
it's
grumpy
tough.
about it.
I'm not grumpy about it either. It's just
A liar! Liar!
It's just what did it do? So in
has
it you have to
games.
do
you
have to fulfill a certain thing so many times, and
It could have adjusted
took us,
the player count.
It took
probably.
it took us
a
3
whole game to roll a 9.
Right. It took us like 3 full games to get through one thing, and it took us. Yeah, we went a
Yeah.
whole game without rolling a 9.
Which you wouldn't even believe it if it didn't happen.
Right.
It's
Like,
ridiculous.
it's like it knew.
So then it's like, well, we made no progress.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. Otherwise, Space Base has moved up for me as well. Kind of like Lost Cities.
Was this on your list?
It was not on my list, but it's probably one of those that if we had done like a top 100, it probably would have been in the 51 to 100 somewhere.
So, when all's said and done, I think this will be top 10 for me.
All right, 13. That's right.
13, yes.
All right, I think this one is a rising star for me.
Rising or Star.
I think.
Star Realms.
I think.
Star Wars!
I think it's heading for 1 eventually. Maybe we'll see. And that is a new game to us this year.
Ooh.
The Red Rising by
I thought she had this on her
Stonemaier.
list.
No,
A 3-way crossover, I believe. Was it on yours yet?
Maybe.
he totally forgot about it. He was like, "What?"
It is on my list already. I couldn't remember.
3-way crossover.
Woot.
Finally.
I have the highest though, so, and it's not just because I have the highest score in the family right now.
I think you all work together and you're like, I want to be part of history. So
No.
let's help her get
No.
20 cards.
It's a great
Good job.
hand building, hand management, whatever game. We'll have to see. Like I think Jesse said, I don't think I've touched every single card in the deck yet. I'm excited to see what an expansion could bring to this, which is definitely
She already wants
the
more cards. She hasn't even
opposite.
touched all the cards. She's like,
Give
we need
more.
more colors.
Oh my gosh!
Worker placement?
I
10.
love so much that you get something when you lay them. You get to pick something up. You get to put something out there, or take a helium, or roll the dice, or something when you pick up a card. And then, depending on what your faction is, you get an extra little bonus. So it's just bonuses everywhere. And it's so exciting when someone lays a card that you want or you need, and it's like, I have one I can pick it up with. It is perfect. It is also very sad when you cannot get that card because somebody else takes it for the same reason. It's just so intriguing. And I think it's hard because if you don't get a good starting hand, I feel like you're probably a little meh. But I've also had good starting hands where I thought, this will kind of last me throughout the game. And I've ended up throwing away half the cards halfway through the game because this isn't working out and I need some of the cards that are coming out. So it's still it's really intriguing to me right now. And I hope the gameplay will sustain itself, through the years. That it'll be on our shelf and I'll still really like it all the time. But, yeah, family, it's my favorite in the family right now.
Wow. Yeah, that's one that I could definitely see being a go-to game for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great game.
I love it. What was my high score again?
I don't remember.
No, you didn't even touch the 300s.
I didn't.
You didn't touch the 300.
It
You
was
went right through 'em.
amazing. You should have seen my starting hand. I was like, oh boy. I can't believe they
Just
trusted me with this.
end the game right now.
Ah.
7,000 points.
400 some
4
points.
golds, 2 whites. That's
Wow.
amazing.
Well, my number 12
It's hard to beat that.
is a game that I lied about.
Lied about.
I might have told you guys that it didn't actually make my list, but it did.
Is it Spots Bus?
Lost Cities.
It's a wonderful world!
Oh, shocker. I forgot you lied about that.
You couldn't fool us.
It's a great game. You were the one that already had it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, you needed to rank it better than you did.
Like I said,
Because it's a
I
great
like
engine
my
builder.
games better than you like your games.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
my
it's a great
40s are
engine
pretty
builder.
much your teens.
It's just so satisfying to produce different resources
Yep.
and complete cards with those resources and then produce resources with those cards that you just did and then possibly get another card. Oh, it's so satisfying and so rewarding feeling.
I mean, that's really all there is to the
Yeah,
game.
it is a very, very simple game, but it's just so satisfying. I keep playing. I keep wanting to play it over and over. And just such a pure engine building game. There's, like I said, those two things really is trying to build the cards with the resources that you're getting, and that's pretty much it. Trying to score as many points as you can, and trying to get cards that kind of work well together, or if you have a multiplier for like green cards, you're looking to try to get as many green cards built as possible, or blue cards, or whatever it may be. We just recently got the expansion for it. We haven't played that yet, and we definitely need to, but that one even has 2 strips of resources that you need, so we'll see how that
Those
How-
works.
cards look
how-
daunting.
How good can a card possibly be?
Like 25
800
points.
points.
Oh my god.
It's like a Red Rising score for Michaela. No, it's a great game. We might see it again.
I also lied about It's a Wonderful World. It is actually my 12. I couldn't fool him. My 12 is Raiders of Scythia.
Oh.
Ooh.
Raiders of the North Sea
So not both.
was not both. I couldn't put 2 games with Raiders in the name. But Raiders of the North Sea was
Trying
one.
to fool us. Raiders of the North Sea is his next one.
I would never do that. It was, like Max said, I really love the place down pickup. And then you go out and you raid these places and rolling dice, and I love that. I love rolling dice for combat, pretty much, and all the different abilities on the cards, and being able to throw away the cards and get another instant ability. So, and with Raiders of the North Sea, I really love the game board, but there was just I couldn't have it in my top tier of games because there were just some things that I didn't like about the game. I didn't like the Valkyrie track where you just lose one of your people. What, do you like that? I don't like it.
It was
And-
one way for me to get points, so yes. An easier way for me to get points.
But then you're down on people and you can't go out to those places anymore.
That is one of my complaints is that I can never get out
True.
to those
That's true.
places.
So there's that, and the orders felt a little out of the way, possibly. I don't know why. It just felt that way to me. But Scythia, I think, really cleans things up, and it's a lot easier to see what tier each of those outposts are in that you're going to raid. Where in North Sea, they all have a name, and
And
they're all
scattered.
they're scattered.
So it's like,
I'm like,
I didn't
wait.
even realize this one was different.
I'm like, oh, gain 2 points when you go to here. I'm like, oh, I'll go there. Oh, wait, no, that's not one of those. That's not a monastery.
It just happens to be next to one.
Yes. And it's just a lot clearer in Scythia. And when you raid them, you get the resources, and you flip the tile over at that place, and that's the order that you can fulfill. And I just thought that was really clean, and it makes a setup a lot simpler as well. And the companions, the eagles and the horses, that is by far the best thing in that game.
Wow, the best thing. I don't know.
And
I think the dice are the best thing.
Oh yes, the dice and the wounds as well. Instead of just simply losing one of your heroes, you just add some wounds to them. And the flag abilities that you can use as well, with help from the eagle and the falcon. I just really, really love this game. And believe it or not, it does replace currently Raiders of the North Sea. We'll have to play that with the expansion. But I don't think there are any companions in it. So
I don't believe so.
Well, I haven't
great
played
pick.
Raiders of Scythia, but I'm interested to try it, and then we might have to propose a trade.
And I was totally against playing it too. And I love the artwork. I thought it was.
Yeah.
I convinced him to play it.
I
Artwork,
thought
too.
it was gonna be an uglier, boring, more complicated version of Raiders of the North Sea, but it's. I like the art, except for the board, more in Scythia. It reminds me of classic playing cards, the face cards artwork. That's what that reminds me of, and it's just better for me in pretty much every way.
Well, I'm gonna keep with the Garfield games, Renegade games
This is going to
theme
be your
here. I'm gonna
highest.
put you on the highest ranked. Well, I suppose other than that one game so far in our little trio, and that is Explorers of the North Sea.
Ooh.
And they don't agree with me, but it's fine.
I like it.
It's fine.
It's a good solo.
I had it in my list.
Explorers is mine. Yeah, that's true. I'm surprised it made your top 50.
It barely made it, but it made it.
Yeah, I love this game. Ever since you brought it home, I was so intrigued by it. I think you got
Beautiful
it.
blue.
You got it specifically because you thought I would like it, didn't you?
I think so. I think it was between that and Raiders
Yeah.
originally, and
Good
I just
choice.
got that because I thought it was a little bit simpler, or
More approachable.
well, yeah, more approachable. I hadn't played either of them, so I didn't really know. But yeah, looking at them now, I don't think that really either one was that much harder than the other.
No, not at all. I don't know. I love it. I love that building your islands. I love putting your people in boats. I love going to get animals. I love your little Viking person and their little goals at the bottom. I love the expansion that gives you some more
An
options.
expansion that she liked.
I know. I will say though, it's kind of limited to 2 to 3 players that I like it at. If you make me play this at anything at 4 or 5, like I don't want to play the game because
Wow.
it is so congested and it is so hard to get what you need done, especially because you only have 4 actions. If you had more actions and a higher player count, I feel like the game would be so much better.
Can you move into a spot with your boat into someone else's spot?
Yeah, I don't know if you can land there though. Can you? You can,
You
because
can.
otherwise you wouldn't be able to go to
Right.
different
Otherwise, you
islands.
could block people.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know. Great game. I love exploring it. I love the theme. The little boat is just the funnest little thing to move.
That was a great shout, Mac, when you named the boat as one of your top 10 components. That is a really
It's
good
so
component.
great. It has little shields on the side. It's darn cute. That's what that is. And
That is true.
How many times can we say rootin' tootin'?
Rootin' tootin' cute.
so I don't know. Great game. I love building the island. I love the theme of it. I will say that we play it pretty much the same every time we play it, where it's like I'm just going to go build my islands over here. You go build your islands over there. And I'll play my game, you play your game. There's really little player interaction, which is not how it's really meant to be played. But at the same time, I feel like it's hard because you're already in one area. What are you going to do? Pick
Yeah.
up your people and go to the other side? Like, so that I kind of feel like is a little bit of a letdown, or it's hard to play the game the way it's meant sometimes. But otherwise, it's a great game.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it.
Yeah, it's a good game. Now my last one for this, number 11. It's been named, I don't remember if it's been named twice or not.
Oh, well then I'm not gonna. I was gonna
It's
be
a
like
bit of
you
a
and
bag
call
builder.
a double crossover, but or a crossover on the number, but
Orleans?
Orleans!
Orleans.
Orleans.
Oh, it's a game.
I said it.
Oh, it's a game that I just love. I'm so glad Abby got it for me. Thank you, Abby. Obviously, one of my favorite games of all time. I just love bag building, and that's a big part of the game. It's a little bit different than like a Quacks of Quedlinburg because you're limited as to how many you can pull out each time, but it still makes for interesting choices each time. And we have an unplayed expansion. I don't know if that adds some more
I
choices.
think it might add some goals, like brings certain goods to certain places on that map, as well as a new whatever that board is where you.
Oh, like market or something it's called.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no, I love the different types of people you can get, and they just have all their unique abilities.
I love that we know
abilities.
their names now.
Well,
what each one is supposed to be.
I do not remember. I quizzed you on them, but I do not
The
remember.
blue one is the boatsman.
Boatsman. I know that one, but no, I think their abilities are all equal. Sort of equally great. The university one or the scholar seems a little bit more powerful maybe, but I think you could kind of make a strategy with any of them work.
Right. I mean, it so much depends on what you need to do that turn and what you draw out of your bag, because you might want to do something, but if you don't draw the right ones, okay, well, I guess we're going somewhere else, or we're going to do something different.
Right. Because,
that's interesting, because you get their actual ability when you buy them, right? Don't you? When you buy them, you move up track and gain some benefits.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
most of them.
What do they do? Isn't the one just wild and the rest just go to certain locations?
Yeah, so the one's wild. The other one allows you to pull an additional one from your bag, the red ones. The other one moves you up on the track on the bottom to allow you to score more points per building you have out. In Orleans, I don't know, it kind of feels added on, but it works, I think. It gives you some more things to do outside of just building up your bag. And then one allows you to add boards that give you additional actions you can take, which I think the first couple times we played this, we never really used that. But then we played with Jesse, and he used it and easily crushed us. So there's definitely things that...
Sleeper.
I did the same strategy 2 games in a row, and I shellacked him both times.
Yes. But I think it says in there that you can have a rule that you can get rid of ones if you think they're powerful.
Which is why it didn't make my list, because I'm like, well, I want to play that same strategy every time.
Wow.
It felt good, scoring 8 points per turn.
Wow. I can't believe it didn't make your list.
It was close. And I probably still like it more than you like it.
I don't believe you.
No. I think this is to bag building what Dune Imperium is to deck building, where it just allows you pull to see what locations you can go to, which isn't that exciting for me personally.
I don't know. I enjoy having to figure out what you want to do with it and kind of making those choices, either to your detriment or not. But no, I really love the game. Number 11.
My last one for today. I thought this would be on your list, and I think it's still going. Maybe not. Maybe it won't be. Maybe it's too early. Because I have only played this 2 times. You have played it 3 times. We have done a first impressions video on this game. And that is After the Empire. Oh my, is this a fun game. An epic game. a giant epic game, not a tiny epic game. The production is off the charts in the base game, even, simply because of those castle pieces.
Mm.
And the card backs, the wow, the stained glass card backs are by far my favorite card backs of any game. So there's that.
That's an interesting take, then. I agree, they're very, very nice.
The best card backs of any game.
It would be interesting to have some cards like that as a normal deck of cards. To have those on as a backs.
Yeah, I'd be into that. Add it to the list. But yeah, and also the tower defense aspect of it is so unique and so fun, and unlike any game, because I guess that's what we're covering now, at least us two, is finding games that are different, and this game really, really feels different. It does have those usual worker placement spots. You go out and get resources, but you're using them to build up your castle to defend from these hordes that are coming.
Fortifying against them.
And one thing that is really forgiving that I love is that when your castle is being hit and being destroyed, the wood and the stone come off of the castle and back into your supply that you can recycle
Well, it
that.
makes a lot of sense.
That
The
is
horde's not going to run off with your stone.
They might.
This is mine!
This is my stone. That's the only reason they're coming. They don't even want your gold. They want your stone to build their own. They'll come back for the gold. But no, that's a great choice. Totally agree with it. Maybe. We'll see.
Well, if this is on your list still, then I know for sure I like my games more than you do.
Wow.
Well, I'm going to round us out for the video here. I'm going to take you way back, past after the Empire. We're going to man's first days of the
Oh.
Stone Age.
I thought this was the one you were talking about originally when you were talking about
That's what I thought.
Western Legends. And they said gold. I'm like, okay, maybe that's not where I would have started, but
I think this one stays high because it's so nostalgic. And we have been playing it a lot more lately because it's on our 10x10 for this year. And I have been getting crushed.
the dice have
The
not
dice
loved you.
have hated me, and they have loved Zach. And it's very frustrating. I almost cried last time. It was so frustrating.
You didn't even get 1-1.
Honestly, Zach rolled. He got like 6 wood. I rolled 4 ones. 4
Yes.
ones.
Yes, I rolled either right before that 4 dice, and I think it was 3 6s and a 5,
Oh
and then you rolled it 4 1s.
I
It was so crushing. I felt horrible.
I was so sad. I was like, this is terrible.
You should be playing Yahtzee.
I
Mac.
never want to thought that would be good. With those dice, I'd be winning Yahtzee. I'd be shotting Yahtzee all the time. So, I mean, it was like the first the first game you really brought in after the main ones that we had been playing, and you were like, hey, look, I have a new board game. And the first time I played it, you open it up, I was like, oh my god. And now I'm like, oh, that's easy compared to some of the stuff you're bringing home these days.
Just get harder and harder.
They have been, but I don't know. It's pretty much the same game every time you play it. I know that Zach's always going to go for tools. I'm probably always going to go for the meeple multipliers.
I think he goes for people and then multiplies them.
He goes for any multiplier he can, and then he tries to build up every single one. And somehow he still managed to get all of the cards.
The set collection.
I'm like,
I didn't even notice I did that last time, and then I get
Yeah.
there and I'm like,
I've got 3 full sets and I've got
Right?
all the multipliers.
did you even grab a card, man?
So it's a great game. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to hold its spot, long term where it is. But it's one for now that is just nostalgic. I like breaking it out because it just has a lot of great memories attached to it. Because it was one we played a lot when we were kind of journeying into this crazy world. But that is my number 11.
Yeah, I'd agree. I really like the game. It didn't make my list, but it is definitely one of those nostalgic games that I do enjoy playing.
So and it can be really fun if the dice are treating you nice. And if they are not,
I've enjoyed our last few plays of it.
yeah, that's a lie. Because afterwards, then he's got to deal with a cranky wife. He's like,
That's true. I would rather lose. Give me the ones.
so.
No.
Well, that is our 2211. Thanks for watching. If you're still here, don't forget to enter our giveaway and join us next week as we go through our top 10.
We're getting
All
to the
time.
great games.
We'll see what kind of.
Michaela's gonna love her games.
I'm already
Finally.
loving my games.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. Well, boys, thanks for joining me here. And don't forget, everyone, to
Keep
on
on nibbling.
nibbling.